Start. Okay, hello, good evening. It's an evening now here in Philippines. And hello, brothers in Christ. Hello, fellow Oblates in Vietnam. My name is Harold, and I'm from the Philippines. And I'm glad that you sent Brother Min here to watch our Father Tao. It's a really pleasure to extend our generosity towards Father Tao. Just been in the hospital for months, but educate with us. It's a really pleasure to take care of him, and that I think is our obligation as an oblate. So we're brothers. Yeah, so Brother Min here told me to talk about Philippine oblate tourism. Well, that's really wide and big topic, and I don't think I can encapsulate. I can capsulize it into a few minutes. But maybe let me just tell you about the oblique mission in the Philippines. Okay, so the Philippines were present here in Central Mindanao and here in Metro Manila. So in Metro Manila we have two big parishes here. We were run by the Oblates. It's really a big parish. As you know, Philippines is 80% Christian, so that is about 80 million, yeah, 80 million to 90 million Catholics here, or more, even more. So I don't know what's the latest statistic now. So in one of our parish, it's in Caloocan. Shall we say we cater at about 200,000 Catholics, or even more again. So in one mass, in one Sunday, we have like 6 or 8 masses. So, and every day, every mass, the church is filled with people. So we cater to the needs. Now this is a mixture of poor and rich people also. So there are really poor, and there are really persons who are middle class, and there are really the ones who are in the upper class, or the rich ones. So we cater their needs. And there are 7 oblates assigned there, so taking care of them. And then we have also school here. It's big school also. It's a private school, Notre Dame of Greater Manila. So it's a popular school and quite expensive also. And then we have another parish in Bagong Barrio. So the second parish is a little bit smaller than the first one, in Grace Park. So in Bagong Barrio, we have 2 priests there, one parish priest and an assistant parish priest. The Oblates came here in the Philippines in 1939. There were 7 of them, Canadian, a group of Canadian Americans. And then they started really the mission in Mindanao with the Muslim people there. So specifically in Cotabato. So I'm I'm 27, so I don't really fully or expertly know the history of Oblates there. But they started their mission there with the Christians who were not locally originated from there. So they are from other islands, and then they transferred to that island. Okay, so the people that they were taking care of at the time is not the local people. Okay, the local people there are the Muslims and the indigenous people. Okay, so they bought some lands there and occupy almost all of the Mindanao area, so by the Christian people. But I think majority of at that time, majority of the people are Muslims. But this time, the Muslims were minority now, and the Lumads, especially the Lumads. So the Christians are growing and growing. And so the culture also of the place is different. So for example, you have schools there. We own a Catholic school, Notre Dame University there. But 50% or even 60% of our students are Muslim. So we cater to them, to the needs as well as the Christians, and to the indigenous people. So the Cotabato city actually is a melting pot of different cultures, Christians, indigenous people, Muslims. Okay, so we call them tribe people, although that term is not that accurate according to some of the scholars. That's a different topic. And so we have also missions in the mountains. No? That's maybe 2 hours or 3 hours away from the center of Cotabato, where the provincial house is located and where the provincial superior is paying. Okay, so we have different missions there actually. So we have different ministries also. So we have youth ministry. We have interreligious ministry. So if you heard about it, interreligious ministry means we are pushing towards the better understanding of Muslims and Christians and eventually to develop a stronger relationship. Okay, so as we know, there are now growing biases against Christians and Muslims. So Christians hate Muslims and other Muslims hate Christians, although not all of them. And so we're trying to bridge the gap again. So we have that interreligious ministry, but that ministry is a young ministry, relatively young. And so we have also youth ministry there. So we have several schools there. Big universities and schools. So, and we have also mission in Pulo-Solo. So that is the most dangerous mission of the Oblates, I think. So we have lost 1 bishop and 3 priests there. They were killed in front of the church. It's Bishop Jesus. At this moment, the bishop there could not leave the bishop's palace without a bodyguard. So he should go out with at least 2 or 3 bodyguards with him. The presence of Christian there is it's different situation. So in that place, the Christians are the minority. So shall we say 5% of the population or 10% of the population is Christian and the rest are Muslims. So that is maybe around 1,000 or 2,000 of Christians are living there, and it's getting lower. There are some things that really have to be considered there. First is the security of the priests there, because they are really prone to be kidnapped for ransom or to be killed by some of the fundamentalist Muslims. But not all of the Muslims are like that. There are really good Muslims who are friends with the Oblates and who are supportive of the Oblates in that area. So we have a school also there, a college, Notre Dame of Holo College. So 96 or 95 or 98% of the students is Muslim. So the Christians there are a minority, but we cater to the needs. So that's how we spread the good news of God, not necessarily by converting them to be Christian, but at the same but maybe the most important is our presence there and to show them how the Christians or who the Christians really are. So, and that's, I think, the most important thing that they need to understand. Okay, that the Christians are one with them, helping them also to be better or to be faithful in whatever faith they are holding on. So that is Islam. Those are the missions of the Oblates, and I think the population, in terms of populations of the Oblates, there are more young priests now, newly ordained, and the scholastics also are. The number of scholastics also is quite big, and our novices also, and as well as the postulant. So I think generally the mission of the Oblates in the Philippines is very, very challenging, because we really are into the most difficult places in the Philippines. We don't really stay in the big cities, no. So, and I think there are some challenges also at the same time. So last year we celebrated the 75th anniversary of the Oblates in the Philippines, and that was a big celebration, but unfortunately we were not able to attend because we were here in Metro Manila, so the celebration is in Mindanao. But at the same time, I think we're one with them. We're one with them. We're praying for them for the celebration and for the success of the Oblates. So I think the mission of the Oblates and the Philippines is really, really challenging, but at the same time, we are really hopeful. So looking back at the how the looking back at the development of the Oblates during the first time that they came in the Philippines, and at the present, there's really, really big change now. So in terms of population of the Christians, and as well as the cultural, cultural, economic, and even the religion landscape of the place is totally different now. So we are not anymore catering to only Christians, but at the same time, we struggle how to answer also to be of help also to other religion, and eventually to bind. I mean, eventually to gap the bridge between between the Christians and the Islam. So basically, that is the challenge of the Oblates now in Mindanao. So if we're going to be successful, I don't know, but but we are hopeful that really that we could do it. So the government is of course very, very, very supportive of the missionaries as well.